This is a continuation of my playthrough of Seven Pines from the Civil War Brigade series. We're on day 2, June 1st, 1862, the 2:30 p.m. turn. This is turn 43. And what I have shown here is a picture of what's going on. And in the center middle, the center top at Fair Oak Station, here's where we have Sumner's Corps. He's got orders to actually continue attacking and capture these redoubts to put some space between himself and the Confederates at Fair Oak Station. So he's in delays still, so he's not putting his orders in. Along the Richmond and York Railroad, you've got General Smith's left wing, and this unit is in very bad shape to the point where he can't sustain battle very long at all, so he's kind of just stuck there. In the center is where D.H. Hill is. His division is also in fairly bad shape. So he has a hard time sustaining an attack. And the only unit that's in good shape is Longstreet's right wing. And they're continuing this attack at Redoubt number 1 against Kearney, trying to get into Seven Pines here. So that is mainly what we see going on at the 2:30 turn. So we go on to turn 44, and this is the 3 o'clock turn. And finally, Longstreet rolls corps attack stoppage. So that's going to end the attack at Seven Pines, at least temporarily. Huger's still attacking with Armistead's brigade there, but there's not a whole lot that they're going to be able to do. As shown in the photograph here, the interesting thing that happened is that the Union Second Corps commander, Sumner, finally implemented his orders to go on the offensive to try to move the Confederates farther west of Fair Oak Station. And so that's exactly what he's trying to do. Not much is happening at Seven Pines. So we go to turn 45. It's the 3:30 turn. And the General Smith is in bad shape, as shown in the prior picture, and he's supposed to be getting back into Fair Oak Station, but he rolled he rolled for corps attack stoppage, and there's a good chance he gets it because he's a 0 and his formation's in terrible shape. But nope, he passes, so he's got to keep running his troops into a meat grinder here. Over at Seven Pines, it's slowed down a lot, but Huger's division is continuing to attack, but it has very limited effect. It's really only Armistead's brigade is able to do much, and he suffers some losses. Then we go to turn 46. This is the 4 o'clock p.m. turn. And finally, Smith calls off the attack at Fair Oaks again. He does set up a fairly strong defensive position in the woods to the west of Fair Oaks, but that's really not going to help him much with victory points in this game. Anyway, this attack stoppage basically is going to allow Sumner a little bit easier time executing his orders to capture those redoubts to the west of Fair Oaks Station. In my picture here, we see, a fairly weak situation here for the Confederates. Longstreet has called off the attack. On his left, you've got Huger's division, which had also been, trying to attack the Union to get into Seven Pines. But these guys are not very strong, and they keep running into fairly significant fire. You do see in the picture, though, that Seven Pines is open, but I don't think anybody's going to want to walk right into there with all those Union troops surrounding it. So then we go on to turn 47, and I'm just going to cover 47 through 55. So this is the June 1st, 1862, 4:30 p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. And the same tit for tat continued But what ended up happening is I finally called a truce at 8 o'clock at night. We're going to go into the next night turn, and that's a good place for the game to end because the Confederates really don't have much fighting power left. But the Confederates do score 15 victory points for inflicting losses on the Union. So the 15 victory points is pretty good damage. And they also control the junction at Portuguese Road, but I think they only get 1 point for that. The Union, on the other hand, gets 23 victory points because they control Fair Oaks Station, they control Seven Pines, and they get a bunch of enemy losses, most of them coming from Smith Swing and D.H. Hill's division in the center. So basically, the way this game resolved is the Unions have a +8 victory point advantage. And this actually is a Union major victory. Now, that's an interesting thing to compare to historically what happened, because in game terms, historically, this battle was a draw with a 0 victory point ratio. There were 14 victory points for the Federals and 14 for the CSA. And in game terms, the way it played out historically is the Union had 10 victory points for rebel losses and 4 more for wrecking D.H. Hill's division, but they didn't control Seven Pines or Fair Oaks. And the Confederates had 7 victory points for U.S. losses and 7 for terrain, 1 for the Portuguese Road and 3 each for Seven Pines and Fair Oaks Station. So my game didn't play out that way. We didn't get a draw as happened historically. We got a Union major victory. So I don't know what I did wrong as the Confederates, but it was a blast to play this game. And I recommend any of the Civil War Brigade series. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on board games. Have a great day.